Well, hello everyone, and
Hello, hello,
welcome
hello.
to HoDiGa's Tarot. Thank you so much for joining us.
No, 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 no. Now it's Hoga Day today.
What is Hoga? Yeah, it's Hoga.
Yes,
Today
we're
is
listening to
Hoga.
die today.
Indeed. So today is Hoga. So as you can see, well, we can't disguise. Diane is not here, but neither of us have heard from her today. So we're hoping that she's okay. But we are genuinely in the dark. That's
Yeah.
all I can. That's all we can say, really. So hopefully, Diane will be in touch. So just to let us know what has happened or what's not happened, but we genuinely don't know. So thoughts and prayers. Let's hope she's that she's all good. But of course, as they say, the show must go on, and you guys are here with us tonight, and we want to respect the fact that so many of you have turned up to be with us tonight. So, of course, we're going to give you a show, and hopefully, we'll have some more information. But we'll also look as well at maybe there might be some other people as well that might be interested in contributing some of their skills and
Absolutely.
talents as well. So we will see. So let's start off with a few kind of like call outs to everyone. Again, we really appreciate you guys being here. Who do we have? Who do we have in the house today? We've got Sharon Saipe, of course. Thank you very much for being here. We've got Dina Donatelli. Oh, I love that. Dina, the name Dina Donatelli makes me think a little bit of like House of Gucci.
Yes.
Has anyone seen that film? Have you seen?
Not yet.
It's interesting. It's very
Okay.
interesting. There are some memorable performances. I think Gaga does well, but I still think in my original prediction that Kristen Stewart will probably get the Oscar. I'd be surprised to see who's going to beat her for playing the role of Diana. But it was House of Gucci is definitely an interesting film, full of characters, and Al Pacino
Yeah.
was very good in that, and Gaga was very good. Anyway, we've got April M. Gossamer Wings. Hello, Gossamer Wings. That's a new one. Annalie Finch, Spirits Beyond the Stars. Cuba
Alpha
Lion.
Beta. I haven't seen that name before. Alpha
Yeah,
Beta.
exactly. Yeah, me neither. So, as usual, as you guys know, as you tune in, be we the power of 3 or the power of 2, and and we'll see how things go in future shows. As usual, Lady G doesn't know the questions that I'm going to ask. And as you know, I like to ask a variety of things, and we will, of course, pull on those things. We're going to try and do maybe about 4 subjects tonight. One of them, of course, tonight, which I think I'm going to save it for the end, Lady G, is that we're gonna talk about the eclipse, because it is eclipse night.
Yes.
Tonight.
Oh,
Yes,
tonight.
eclipse night tonight. It is happening, depending on of course what time zones. A lot of us won't see a great deal of it because I think most of it is happening in Antarctica. However, it's still an eclipse, so we'll sort of like save that for the end of the show. Let's get the old cards out and going. Let's get shuffling, and let's start with the first question. So first of all, I want to say a little thing. And, I really do actually. I think this person had a good point because they felt I was being a little bit harsh. Yeah, a little bit harsh against Western tropical astrology. So, yeah, I'll take the little the little slap face on that one. Yeah. And of course, yes, Western astrology, it does still work. It does work. Yes, it does work. Because what I would say, even though tropical astrology, we calculate, we're reading a different part of sky. However, the distance between the planets as they orbit the sun is still the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't want anyone to think that I'm disrespecting, of course, the great tradition of that is Western astrology, etc. But as you know, I do get very impassioned, don't I, Lady G? I do get passionate
Do
about
we
stuff.
all with our paths? Yes. No matter which path you're walking or you're teaching, you get very,
Yeah.
Passionate about
exactly. One gets passionate about these things, and I'm just very passionate about people really having this new perspective because it's so powerful. And you can just ask my clients, etc. So yes, Western astrology, of course, does work, but Vedic astrology, of course, is also very accurate. So you remember I was saying it was all about. Do you remember I said it was about female leadership? There'll be something to do specifically with the Queen, etc. And of course, you guys will know this who have already seen this video. But what happened? Barbados became an independent state from the crown. The Queen was replaced.
Yes.
And Barbados now has a female president, prime minister, and Rihanna was also made hero of Barbados. Yeah. So it's been remarkable. We've also had Stacy Abrams announce that she's going to run. So we're also going to talk about Stacy Abrams as well. But first of all, we're going to start. Let's start with a bit of Great Britain. But it's about it's about what someone in Great Britain said. But really, it's about China. Yeah. So someone from the head of MI6, and this is a question I sort of addressed a bit in my Wednesday show. Now, this is MI6, and they said China is, to them, a bigger threat than global terrorism. Now, this is a big thing to say, irrespective of what we feel about China or not, etc. That is a massive statement. I'm sure you would agree.
So who said that?
It was one of the guys from MI6. I think I've got his name on another piece of paper. MI6 is sort of like part of our secret service, right. Yeah, FBI kind of stuff. Let me see if I can find his name. Here we are. Announced. Why did I not write his name down? I didn't write his name down. These people aren't particularly memorable, but anyway, MI6. So the question is, how will China respond going forwards?
With England or with where?
In terms of the context of this person from MI6 saying that they're now this big global threat. Now, of course, let's take that with a big pinch of salt, everyone, because of course we don't want to be singling out countries, etc. All this stuff. It's not what this is about. It's just that someone from MI6 said this. Yes. Yeah. And the Secret Service don't normally come out with this stuff. So how will China respond, I suppose, to the world going forward? Let's pull on that. How will China respond to the world going forward? How will China respond to the world going forward? And we can just see what we get between the two of us. On Hoga or Gaho or Gung Ho. Gung Ho. All right. China. What does the world? How will China respond going forward? How will China respond? Going forward. All right. Would you like me to read or would you like to go first?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, no problem. Let's have a look. Let's see what we've got going on here. And there's going to be lots of this kind of talk as well, particularly with one of my other questions coming up. And I'll talk about some of the astrological factors at play, folks, particularly as this is eclipse night. And it's going to bring a lot of things. Okay, this is interesting. So what I've got here in terms of what's going to be happening with China and stuff like that going forward, I think Joe Biden's turned up, which of course would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? So we have to know this is the Joe Biden card. So that kind of sets a bit of context. So it suggests, spirits listening. Now here, as the obstacle. Look, I've got it's the card of walking away. Yeah, it's the card from walking away from things, etc. And this is, leaving stuff behind. But also as well, when it's reversed, as you guys know, I would say this becomes a more internalized energy, a more internalized energy. And because we know that this is often the Biden card, the King of Cups, this suggests to me that internally, it could be that Biden is, if you can imagine, this is a really awkward thing.
Yes.
No one really wants to be going toe-to-toe or in conflict directly with China, do they? It's been, a lot of it has been about trade. Oh, and thank you so much for the donation, Rhonda. Thank you so much for your donation. So this suggests that when I tune in, I think this is a hesitancy. And it's more of a question of like, Biden is like, what do we do about the situation with China, especially as one of our allies, Britain, has come up and said they're the biggest global threat to the world since terrorism. I think that's a bit of an issue for him. Also as well, look, we've got the card here, the Two of Wands. Look what he's doing. He's looking abroad. He's going abroad. But again, the card is reversed. So I think there's a hesitation about how to potentially act. And this also says as well, because both of these cards are reversed, maybe like Biden wants to be really, really careful. Because of course there's a delicate situation right now, and he's also as well, a lot of his attention as well has been taking up with things to do with Russia, which we'll talk about later. So here we are. We've got the sword, the Page of Swords, which is all. Of course, pages are about messages, but again, it's reversed. So maybe there's some kind of spy in the camp, or some kind of secret message or information that Joe Biden gets that could be maybe potentially very unsettling and maybe perplexing. And of course, MI6 coming out with this stuff, because this means like spy in the camp, but it also means what? Espionage, secret services. So he's literally like, MI6 have announced this to the world, yeah? And then look, as the final outcome card, I get the Wheel of Fortune. So there's an element of fate and destiny to this. Maybe this scenario can't be avoided, but it is the right way up. So it does suggest maybe there could be a more positive outcome. Hopefully it's not going to be some kind of conflict, but I don't know. What do you have, Lady G? And we can debate it.
Well, I'm doing a little different type of read this time, and so we'll see how it works. But they're biding their time. Time is ticking, okay? So biding their time and trying to put things out in a little more positive way. But above it, we have the struggle, the difficulty, the struggle that's kind of been overturned a bit. So dealing with them is going to be difficult. They're keeping things close, not giving a lot away, and they're trying to strengthen their position as usual. But what's unknown is we've got the stinky fish card. It's to the negative, It's kind of like behind the scenes, there's a bit of sort of a threat, or, like it is with the, that they've increased the rate of what we have to pay to have things shipped. And so they're just kind of putting the screws behind the scenes. Yeah, they're Yeah,
Wow.
So that's what I did, biding their time, keeping things close to the chest, trying to, again, strengthen their position. And we know they've got the other things going, that they want to absorb Taiwan like they did with Hong Kong, etc. So we've got those things going with them as well.
Yeah.
Kind of stinky fish things under the surface that they're doing with especially Taiwan and Hong Kong.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Thank you so much as well, Marvel Johnson, for
Yes,
your
thank you.
donation, and also as well, even though Diane's not here, we also will say a congratulations too, of course, on her
Absolutely.
engagement. So, and a lot of us, well, including ourselves, actually, we were looking forward to hearing about that, and of course, Diane's trip to Mexico as well. But you know, like we said, we'll have to see what comes out in the grapevine. Lady G, do you know what? I think you're right. It's because if we go for a moment, and if we now what this MI6 person said was, I forget his name. I read crumbs. I've got it written down on another piece of paper somewhere, I'm sure. But anyway, what he said, let me just see if I just happen to write his name on the other side of paper. No, I don't think I did. Anyway, but the point is this, is that if he said he doesn't want China to miscalculate, to miscalculate.
Yeah.
And he was saying there is a danger they could miscalculate because it's perceived that the West is not strong at the moment. Yeah, not strong at the moment. And he was basically saying, oh, don't try anything. But let's flip the mirror and let's put ourselves in the position of China. And if you're in the position of China and you're looking at the West, what are you thinking? Yeah, you're probably thinking, wow, look at that hot mess. Yeah, over there. There is so much discombobulation, which I think is fair to say. There is a lot of, in the West, I think it's fair to say, and I don't want to do us down, but we are looking pretty discombobulated at the moment. We've got people in American politics saying stuff that has just never been said before.
Exactly.
I mean, like, and we know this, guys. We know it's true, don't we? Never been said before. Stuff we never thought we would ever see in America, let alone here. And then you've got my Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, talking about Peppa Pig. Yeah?
Yeah.
Talking about Peppa Pig and all this different stuff. And of course, the ups and downs, be it for good or for ill, in regards to the virus and stuff, look, it's really kind of exposed a lot of stuff. So when I look at it from their perspective, I'm kind of like, is that really miscalculation? You know, it might be one of the best times to, change the scales.
Yeah, if they're going to do something.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lucky McLucky, as well. And let me just do a few more readouts before we go on to Stacy Abrams. So let's see here who we've got. We've got Annalie Finch. We've got Christine Jones, April M, Joyce Clark. And we've got Flora and Teresa Baltazar. Oh, that's a great name. Some fabulous names. So again, we really appreciate you guys being here. All right, let's move on. Let's anything you want to add, Lady G, about China? Any more insights? No. Are you happy with that?
No, I think that's about it.
All right. Perfect. All right, let's look at Stacy Abrams. So, folks, I did a video actually back on the 7th of October looking at Stacy Abrams' chart. As you know, Lady G, I feature people and I just look at their political future, etc. So I had a feeling, well, not even had a feeling, we know that she's a significant political figure in the USA. For context, just for those that are watching that may not know the situation, Stacey Abrams went up against someone called Brian Kemp to become the governor of Georgia. And if she succeeded, she would have been the first female black governor of Georgia. Now, she lost, and there was controversy around that loss. It was very close, and it's led to all sorts of things to do with voting rights, etc. And there's a big old hoopla. She has just announced that she is going to go back into the race for governor again.
Yes.
And I was looking at her chart, and I said she may well announce something because I could see something powerful happening in her chart. So if you guys are curious about that, just go into the link description below. And there is where you can also find Lady G's details and Diane's details as well. And don't forget, of course, to like and subscribe. But if you're curious about what I predicted for Stacy Abrams, then maybe you might want to watch that video. I can't really remember everything that I said, but the video's there. So what I wanted to ask her, what are her chances of success?
Yes.
Not if she's going to win or lose, but what are her chances of success? So let's look at that. And we have Christopher Guala. Thank you so much for your donation. And I think there was someone else who donated before as well, which I missed. Oh, I have to scroll through. There, I missed it somewhere. But thank you so much. So yeah, what are her chances of success? Stacy Abrams. What are her chances of success? What are her chances of success? All right, what are her chances of success? Stacy Abrams. I'm sure her going back in, like just when I tune in, she's really, absolutely, I think she's going to pull out all the stops. She's obviously will have her enemies, but I also think she would have won a lot of friends, and I think she would have won a lot of respect. I think she would be hard to beat. Let's put it that way. They're going to have to scam a lot of stuff to beat her, I would think, and I'm not sure if it would work this time. Allegedly, and of course for entertainment purposes only. Stacy Abrams. But I get the sense she's very determined. I'm trying to remember what I said about her and her chart, but I was expecting her to make a bid at some point. All right, so let's look here. Ooh, oh my goodness. What cards do you have? What do you? Yeah. Okay. Do you want to go this time?
Doesn't matter. If you want me to, I will.
All right. I'm going to go because I need to see what you've got, because your expression is telling me something like. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go. And hello as well, Patricia Franzino, Gertrude Hi, and Blue Moon Rising, and Caroline Marquez. Thank you so much as well for joining us. All right. Look, this is what I get. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got the priestess come up. So, you know, this is what I'm going to say. Again, for entertainment purposes only. But let me tell you, Stacy has got a few tricks up her sleeve. She's got, I think she really means it. She really means it. And I think she is going to pull out all the stops, all the, whatever she's, gangbusters, yeah, whatever she's got. So this suggests, as we know, the high priestess deals with what? Secrets, intrigue, yeah?
Yes.
This is a woman who knows things. And this shows as well that Stacy is really approaching this with cunning and planning, and she really wants to make sure she works it out. The obstacle that I've got for her is Temperance Reversed. So sometimes when Temperance is reversed, it can mean a lack of chemistry, etc. But in general, you can just take it as a sense of imbalance. Mm-hmm. So here, Stacy knows what happened last time. Right. And she knows that she didn't get a balanced result last time, didn't she? It wasn't fair, because temperance, when it's the right way up, it deals with fairness. So I think, of course, she's feeling sore about that. And I think she's really really investigating and digging into things to, A, make sure that there is a fair turnout. But I think she's prepared to do a lot. Yeah, let's just say that. I can't really say more than that. And the next, I get the death card reversed. So the death card, when it comes, it means the end of a cycle, end of something. You'll notice that the king is trampled underfoot, and this is his wife and child crying, and the priest is here trying to appeal to death. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But here, when death is reversed, it can mean holding on to something. It can mean holding on to something, not wanting to let something go. So could this be, of course, that defeat? Yeah, that was very difficult, Very difficult. So it's almost like, I don't want to say revenge, but there's a little bit of a grudge match here, because she's like, yeah, I remember what happened last time. If we look here, the next card that she gets is the Five of Cups. Now, the funny thing is, when the Five of Cups is reversed, it can actually mean getting some assistance from friends, believe it or not. So maybe there's going to be someone that's going to be helping her out. And she has got the Queen of Swords reversed. And when the Queen of Swords is the right way up, of course, this talks about, you know, legal battles, going in, fairness, etc., and all that stuff. But it can also, this can mean overthinking things, but it can also show that there is a viciousness there. So I think when this next race basically embarks, I think it's going to be very vicious. I don't think anyone is going to be pulling any punches, I'm afraid. So we could see some dirty stuff, folks. We could see some dirty stuff. What do you have, Lady G?
And that's exactly what I have. She's got a maze that she's got to go through in the home court here. You know, they've done everything they can to hinder Black voters. They, you know, about being in line, you can't give them water, you can't do this, you can't do that. So they're doing whatever they can to hinder that. So, you know, what's known is we have the buying and selling, and we have that skewed to the negative.
Yeah.
Okay. So, of course, this has to do with the thing that you can't give them water, you can't, you know, all the tricks that the Repugly Uglies have done and will continue to put into place to hinder the voting. Going into it, we've got the Judgment. You know, she would be good. She's got the burden, but she's positive in that. I got the positive slant with it. Even though she's burdened with this, she's positive. And she's going to do her best. And she is excellent. But what's unknown, we have the Merchant card. Okay. And we've got it to the negative, that they're going to do whatever dirty politics they can do to keep her from winning. Underneath of it all, I've got the King of Swords again. They're going to be down and dirty, try to hang her up. And again, skewed to the negative, whatever defenses they're going to put up. So they're just going to be really dirty. You know, and they've got that other thing now too, that they can, you know, what is it? Come against, even if she won, they could still try to take her out.
Really?
And still, yeah, they have that thing now that you can challenge it. You can challenge it no matter what. So we know that they're going to do everything they can to keep them from voting. And then when she wins, they'll do whatever they can to try to take it away from her yet again.
There is so much shadow going on right now.
Really negative. I've got the feeling she's going to pull it out, but everybody has to pull out the stops to vote for her, because they're doing every dirty trick in the book to keep her out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Which can also explain as well that High Priestess energy too. It's not just Stacy Abrams, but it can also show the energy around her and even what her opposition is prepared to do. I shuffled the deck and I just looked at the bottom card, and look, I got the Two of Cups here. So this is all about these deals. Even though she's just announced, really the horse trading has begun already, folks. Like, people are taking their positions, and even though, as we know, as I've mentioned it before, and what we're talking about in Vedic astrology and tropical astrology, we're all talking about this Pluto returns, aren't we? This Pluto returns. And it can be very difficult to witness, because it is just a lot of shadow, isn't it? It seems to be, I feel like almost in the world, in the consciousness, it's the type of flooding that we're having, which comes through the floorboards. Yeah, you see the rain at night and you think, oh, the river's far away, and then you get flooded through the floorboards. It's kind of like that energy. And of course, we have to hold the light. We still need to keep our sense of humor, etc., and everything like that, and maintain a positive stance. But we also have to be honest as well about what we're seeing, aren't we? And we're seeing a lot of shadow, and we are in that astrological pattern, folks, of the 1930s. We're sort of in a similar thing. So it's like, anyway, so there's that. So she's in for a battle. Basically, she
is definitely in for a battle. I don't know what, my cards are just jumping out here today.
Oh wow! Oh, this is exciting! My goodness. Well, while you're picking up cards, we've got Jenny W, Annalie Finch, Maureen Garby, let's see, T Jones, and Connie Brown is also with us in the house as well. So let's just see here. Yes, lots of people asking, of course, about Diane's engagement and everything like that. So Gertrude, I was supposed to have a reading with her and waited 2 hours and then did a meditation for an hour. So I'm curious about, okay. So I'm just putting up Gertrude here. So
somebody was saying that they've got bad weather up there too. So I don't know if she's home. Maybe there's a connection issue or something. Maybe there could be some difficulty with that.
Yeah, maybe her internet's cut out, because Gertrude was saying that she was supposed to have a consultation.
Yeah.
And wasn't able to get in touch. So, of course, this could perhaps explain why we've not heard anything, because even if Diane can't make it, she always gets in touch. And this is the first time we've not heard that. But, of course, we don't want to worry too much or spook anyone. But for us, it's a bit unusual. But I don't want to even then say too much, because we don't know what her scenario is. And I don't want to...
Yeah. I don't know if she's home yet or if she's still in Mexico, but somebody was saying there's bad weather. She's home there now.
She's back,
bad weather up there.
Yeah, I think she posted a video yesterday, actually. I think she posted a video yesterday. So she's back and she announced her engagement and everything. So maybe the weather's just
got
really
bad
rotated.
Weather and connection issues today.
Yeah, could be that. All right, so getting a little, just to give everyone we're just weaving in a little bit more astrology than usual, because it is an eclipse night and this is important. So this eclipse, which is happening over Antarctica, so there could be news even about Antarctica or some southern hemisphere countries and stuff. But this solar eclipse is happening in sidereal Capricorn. So if you're Western tropical, it's happening in Sagittarius. But for Vedic, as you know, which is what I do, it's happening in Scorpio. So it also means it's happening in the first house of Joe Biden. Yeah, Joe Biden is a double Scorpio. So he's having an eclipse fall in his first house. So that's already a big deal. But it's very close to a star called Antares. And unfortunately, Antares is a royal star. It's a royal star. It's the star of the fall, but it's also known as the star of war. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of rhetoric and stuff, a lot of stuff building up. So what I wanted to pull on, so Biden is going to be having a chat, apparently, with Putin via video talk, so doing a bit of Zoom like we all do, probably a high-level security version. But it's to talk about the situation in Ukraine, because, there was a conflict between Ukraine and Russia. And we all know Russia would like Ukraine back, just like maybe how China would like Taiwan back. Yeah.
Yes.
And so the Ukrainians are saying, well, look, they're building up their forces. And actually, I was watching a news report, basically, they are. So basically, you've got the Russians on one side and the Ukrainians on the other. Joe Biden is worried, and they're worried about war. So remember, this eclipse is happening in Antares, and it's also happening in Joe Biden's first house, who is a double Scorpio. So my question is will Biden succeed in basically preventing a conflict between Russia and Ukraine? That's my question. Will Biden succeed? Will Biden succeed? Let's see here, see what I get. Will Biden succeed in somehow convincing Putin not to attack. And of course he's saying, oh, we're not doing anything, but all the troops are building up. I was literally watching on the news the footage where they were with a live reporter. Will Biden succeed? A lot of pressure on Biden right now, a lot. Will Biden succeed? Biden succeed. All right. Let's see. What do I have? Oh. Oh. Ah. Oh. Okay. This is quite interesting. All right. Shall I?
Yes. Go ahead.
All right. Let me have a quick slurp of my It's a Coca-Cola, but it's sugar-free and caffeine-free, because obviously it's like past 11 for me at night, so I need to be able to sleep. But I do like a little fizzy drink now and again. I know it's naughty, everyone. I know it's naughty, but anyway, here we are. Biden, 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, this is about keeping stuff close to your chest, not wanting to lose resources or power. So it's almost like Biden is, he's literally like this in regards, because this is such a tricky moment, because you've got MI6 saying China is this big threat, and now you're having to deal with Putin. And so he's not wanting to concede ground. He's not wanting to this can also be a card sometimes, which can also deal with money. Yeah, well, obviously it deals with money. So there is that aspect as well of, can America afford to go into a big war with Russia via NATO right now? Yeah, because they're talking about NATO forces and stuff. And look at that. It's like, yeah, after all COVID, all that spending, the infrastructure bill, et cetera, et cetera. So Biden is having to be very cautious here and conservative. What's the obstacle? Here we are. Look, partisan infighting. Yeah, this is more of an internal level. So again, this is excruciating. This is very, very difficult. Particularly as well because Biden, as we know, was very heavily criticized for Afghanistan, wasn't he? Uniformly, even the normal pro channels, pro, Democrats or whatever, were throwing their sixpence worth in. So this is his obstacle. He doesn't want to have that wrangling again, that kind of mess and infighting. However, there seems to be an idea, a fresh opportunity. Something may come forward like a hand out of a cloud that could be potentially an opportunity for Biden to do something. However, look at my next card here. There's there could be a vicious battle. It could be that maybe Biden or NATO or someone makes an offer or comes up with an idea. And maybe Russia goes ahead with the conflict anyway, because, of course, this eclipse, which is happening today, is very close to the star Antares, star of war. But look, there's a victory. There's a victory. But who wins? Yeah. So there's going to be some kind of idea going forward with something. There is a vicious battle of some kind, and there is a victory. But who wins? Is it Biden and NATO, or is it Putin? That's what we have to see. But what I would say is the eclipse is going through Biden's first house, and eclipses can be challenging. They can be unpredictable. It's like a wheel of fortune. So that's what I'm going to say. So we'll see. What do you have, Lady G?
Well, I have a thing, and for me, that usually represents like funerals and that type of thing, and this is the seed state that's happening. Of course, he's going into it. He wants to put a stop to it. He wants to, close this down. That's what's known. And he's trying to have gratitude, trying to, even though, the stuff is coming out and it's dark, he's trying to have a positive attitude as much as he can going into the talk. But really, he feels burdened and negative about it. He doesn't feel positive. It's a very big burden, that he's got on him. And they're talking about, behind the scenes, he's talking about defense and stuff with NATO. But underneath of it, what I have is what's being worked on is a tower movement in a negative way Putin is doing behind the scenes. So he is, Biden's going in and trying to be as positive as he can in this, but it does not look good. Behind the scenes, I think he knows that there may have to come something with NATO because Putin is gravitating more towards that.
Yeah. And we all know he's made no disguise of the fact that he wants to see NATO kaput.
Yeah.
He's been, if we think of former Eastern Bloc countries that used to be part of the USSR, which are now which have enjoyed independence basically since the fall of the USSR in sort of like the early 80s. And he's not wanted, particularly like Poland or Ukraine, to kind of, get further, closer ties with NATO. And given, again, let's just do a little thought experiment where we put ourselves in Russia's shoes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Has always wanted to kind of get their own back for the collapse of the USSR, because famously, Reagan basically outsmarted Gorbachev, and Gorbachev was a big part of that. In fact, the West can actually thank Gorbachev for essentially what unfolded. But Putin never forgot it. Yeah, remember, never forgot it. When he was at the KGB, he never forgot that, and he vowed to try and get everything back. So now, because when you look at US politics, where it looks much closer to pretty much a lunatic asylum than an actual operating thing, do you know what I mean? Not to be too bad, but I'm just with this with my channel, as you know, I try and give the international perspective, and we're looking at America and we're like, what is happening there?
Exactly.
So this is really, when you put yourself in the Putin perspective, this looks like an opportunity, doesn't it? Because if there's not agreement with divided countries, it's very hard to stand up to your enemies if you're a divided country. Let's just put it that way. So he's going to try his luck. I think he's going to try his luck.
He's going to try his luck, but Putin is just really set on that, and that's it. Behind the scenes, that's what he's working on.
Yeah, it's his vision. It's his dream. He's always wanted to dismantle NATO. He's always wanted. We've seen the provocations, the cyber attacks, and all this, that, and the other. And there's still, because of the cray which has been happening just within US politics, and irrespective of trying not to label that too much, but let's say it's been a difficult time for America. Let's put it this way: it's been a difficult time politically. There's a lot going on, and I've done Putin's chart, and he's there for my members will know, and he is an extremely clever person. Most of us, you can imagine, most of us do Sudoku. Yeah, when we're bored, we might do a bit of Sudoku, do a puzzle, maybe even a Rubik's Cube. For Putin, he does his manipulations with countries as a pastime. Yeah,
yes.
He just does. I've seen his chart. It's an extraordinary chart. I'll give it that. I mean, it is an extraordinary chart. So we'll have to see. But I think because there's so much going on in the States, it's not easy for Biden right now. Let's just put it that way. It's not easy. Yeah, there's a lot on the plate.
He's got so much on his plate to try to wade through that he was left by 45. And then, the Ugly Uglies are doing all they can to put wrenches in everything. They just,
Yeah. And because of the nature of the withdrawal, which we know really, wasn't the best, unfortunately. But when it comes to politics, is a performance. Have you heard the saying? They said politics is show business for ugly people. I don't know if you've heard that one. I mean, it's a very deeply unflattering, but it is theater. It's the fifth house. So presentation means a lot. It means a lot.
Yeah.
Appearances, like appearing strong, even if you're not strong, and there are just certain things. So the look is not so great for the West right now. We've got, Prime Minister talking to business after Brexit, talking about Peppa Pig. You should have seen the coverage that they did in India. Oh my God, Lady G and viewers, they just cussed us out. Absolutely. They were just like, former British colony, Prime Minister talking about Peppa Pig. We got rinsed in the international.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely rinsed. So obviously he's, it's looking like it might be a strong time. So I was thinking, let's focus a bit on the eclipse today, because it is happening. What does this mean? So we've had the lunar eclipse, and of course the moon is feminine, divine feminine. Deals with mothers, but it deals with matriarchs of all kinds as well. Venus, it tends to be all types of women, but moon is about female leadership, queenhood, etc. So we spoke about the queen and her difficulties. There was that eclipse, but it was exalted. So there's been a lot here for female leadership as well. But the sun is considered a male planet. Now, does it mean that only refers to males? No, it's anyone that's got a leadership position. So this could also be Stacy Abrams as well, because she announced, what is it, yesterday or the day before? So it's just a couple of days before today's eclipse. So she, in a way, has got the energy of both. So I really think she's going to try and do some kick-ass stuff. We'll see if she succeeds, but she's going to go for it. But what this means is there could be stuff, because it's Scorpio. When the luminaries are eclipsed, things come out of the shadows. Yeah. What does Scorpio deal with? Yeah, as we all know, you've heard me say it so many times: sex, death, and rock and roll. Yeah. So it deals with sex, death, rock and roll. So it deals with the genitals, the private parts. Yeah. In terms of Scorpio, its energy. It deals with traumas, transformation, wills, surrender, life insurance, psychology, addiction, metaphysics, disgrace, bankruptcy, inheritance, shamans, taxes, corruption, money from others, astrology, life force, and conspiracy theories. And it also deals with magnetism and charisma. Yeah. But it also deals with what? Corruption. Yeah. And things that are difficult to talk about. What is happening right now? Ghislaine, her whole thing is what? Dragging everything up. Now, what's going to happen? Because like Diane did a read on her actually and the situation. And she knows a lot of stuff. And she could sink a lot of global leaders like that. Yeah. All she has to do is just say, this person, this person, this person, that person, and they're just done. But will she do that? We'll have to see. But there could be something that could come out about leaders. Something murky. Something murky is going to come out. But what I wanted to ask you is, what could the solar eclipse potentially reveal? That's the question. Oh, and there's over 600 of you in right now. 642, that's not bad. Considering we're one man down. It's all good, but yeah, it must be the internet or something. I'm sure we will find out. I'd be surprised if we don't. Okay, so solar eclipse. What could it potentially reveal? This solar eclipse. The sun is also leadership as well, and then the eclipses go in seasons, which are 6 months apart. So you have the lunar eclipse 2 weeks before, and then you have the solar eclipse 2 weeks after. And they come in cycles, and then the next lot should be coming in the summer at some point. But we do have a massive alignment, which we need to talk about in February, later in February, which is huge. 7 planets in Capricorn, if I recall.
Oh my goodness.
Capricorn is government. So yeah, big. There's a lot of big stuff happening next year, folks. All right. What would the solar eclipse?
We are just dragging through the doo-doo.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's what Scorpio's got a lot to do with. Sewers as well, things that are underground. Yeah, it's the murky stuff. But not to be bad to Scorpio as well. Scorpio is about transformation, getting to the bottom of things, really going in there and doing the hard work. It's also about politics and about power. So I just think it's thematically, it's all kind of bang on, isn't it? With, particularly with Ghislaine Maxwell and all the intrigues that are happening. Espionage is also Scorpio energy as well. 8th house. What will be the outcome? What will be the outcome? Or what could be revealed by this eclipse? Let's just see here. All right. Right. Ooh. This is very interesting. Okay. I'm just going to say what I see. What could be revealed by the eclipse? Look at this. We've got the Knight of Cups, which is sometimes known as the false knight. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is offerings, messages as well. But imagine that there's sweet mulled wine in the cup on a cold winter's night. So here's the knight coming up. He's like, oh my darling, I've got something nice for you. So this can also speak about the emotions. It can also speak about messages as well. It could also speak about deals. There could be some kind of deals, offers being made. But we'll have to see in regards to what. Could this also be to do with the Ghislaine case?
Yes.
Something being made. Could there be something like that? Or could there be something in international leadership to avoid war or conflict? Maybe some concessions, maybe some offers are being made. But are the offers genuine? That's always what we have to ask ourselves with the Knight of Cups. Is it a genuine offer? Or is it something that is said to kind of sweet talk or seduce? Yeah, which is also very Scorpionic. What do we have as the obstacle? We've got the, what's it called? We've got here, I can't even, oh gosh, what's that? 9 of Swords, bloody hell. Had a brain freeze for a minute there. I couldn't read my Roman numerals. So here, this can also deal with what? Anxiety, yeah? Yeah. Anxiety, sleepless nights, nightmares, all of that kind of stuff, even psychological problems. So there is a sense of wanting to kind of ameliorate the situation overall. It's about offers, but really there's a lot of anxiety in the world. There's a lot of anxiety, which we all feel. And, I wish we could be more positive about this, but it's just true, isn't it? There's just a lot going on. Choices need to be made. We're going to learn a lot about partnerships, certain partnerships that we may not have known about before, deals, international deals. Yeah, this could even be trade deals. This is the Lovers, but it's all about choices. There could also be an element of retreat. Could this also be lockdowns in different countries, being forced to retreat? We know there's a lot of stuff going on in Australia. Guys, have a look at what is happening in Australia. That's what I'm going to say without being too political. OMG. Yeah. So there could be these lockdowns, Europe as well. There's that. But look, there's a sense of money changing hands, but this could be dark money as well. This here as well. When it's this way, it's charity. When it's this way, it can also be corruption. So there could be things with deals, offers, but they could be maybe of a darker nature, and there could also be stuff to do with lockdowns as well. But it's going to bring out lots of stuff. So, Lady G, what do you have to close the show? We're nearly there.
Well, what I've got, I was just checking these real quick again one more time to make sure. Okay. So what I got in the center of it were masks. Maybe some masks, some things are going to be seen behind the mask. We have the moon, some of the darker things, not seeing with a lot of clarity. Or it could be also, that we are looking a little deeper, the psychic things behind the mask. What's known is we have a lot of offers, a lot of things happening. As far as cups, you have all of those things up in the air to choose from. These are skewed to the positive. So a lot of positive things to happen with that. we have going into it Queen of Swords, taking no prisoners. Okay. And
Wow.
but what's going forward, which is really interesting, was the Hangman, but seen from a different perspective in a higher view, because I got the spiritual, that it's a spiritual thing that's going to happen. We're going to see it from a higher view. Okay. And but underneath of it, what's unknown is going to be some kind of a teardown, but it's going to work for the better in the end. We're going to see from a higher perspective. There will be some, give and take, looking at where we feel like we've been bound up mentally, and we'll be ready to leave that behind, emotionally leaving that behind. So it looks like there will be some big shakeup somewhere, with some things revealed, some masks being taken off, behind the mask, but it's going to result in the end of a spiritual happening, seeing something from a different viewpoint. So
wow. Because that also as well, for anyone that is a Scorpio as well, that is the really good part of Scorpio, is that once Scorpio or Scorpio energy or 8th house energy or Pluto energy is very good for dredging things up in order that they be brought to the light and cleansed and healed. So this is also a great opportunity for healing as well. And even though in the constellation of Scorpio, there's a bit, Mars is going to be Gandanta, which means it's going to be between a fire sign and a water sign later on in a few weeks from now. And of course, the tail of the scorpion deals with poison. Yeah. But let's not forget, poison in the right dose is also medicine. Yeah,
exactly.
So an opportunity.
It's like the desert in the Bible. When you get bit by the snake, that's how the caduceus got formed. And you put the snakes on the thing, and you raise it up, and if they looked at it, they would be healed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So there is also an opportunity for healing as well, everyone. So even though we're seeing a lot of shadow, we're seeing a lot of ugliness come up, we now have this international court case with Ghislaine talking about sex trafficking and all of that kind of stuff, which again is very much that Plutonic energy coinciding with that Pluto return as well. We have the eclipse today happening in sidereal Scorpio, which is going to talk about leadership and things being exposed, but maybe this could also be cathartic for us as well.
Exactly.
If we find out, what's really kind of like going on and just dealing with the nitty gritty of everything. Pluto at Scorpio is about power. It's about what really matters. There is a devotional side and spiritual side to Scorpio as well. Remember, there are many wonderful Scorpios in the world. So this is also a time for healing, but I feel it's that kind of tug of war, don't you reckon, Lady G? Like this tug of war, and I feel like the world is birthing something. And what I want to say to people is, are we birthing elves or is it orcs? Yeah. If we think of Lord of the Rings, is it elves or orcs? It could be a bit of the two, but maybe to leave it on a lighter note before we end the show. Let's see. Well, let's get some messages from Dog. Yeah.
Absolutely. Grab a message from Dog.
Let's see messages from Dog. See what Dog has to say about the global eclipse and everything like that. Let's see what Dog has to say. All right. Look at that. So it says here, look, be gracious.
There you go.
Be gracious.
Yes, we're through hard times, so be gracious.
Yes, and it says congratulations are in order, accept the applause. Yeah, so there is this element here as well. We need to keep our grace, keep our humor, understand as well that this is also an opportunity for healing. As much as we are seeing a lot of shadow, this is a chance to really examine the world, how it works, and try and make it a better place. I just want to say thank you to everyone who joined us. That is gone. The hour has gone. So we will see you next week, and hopefully we'll find out what's going on with Diane. But either way, we will both be here, and let's just see what options are on the table for next week. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, and see you soon.
Love and light.
Love and light, everyone. Cheers. Bye bye. Bye bye.